Hi everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and we are starting today talking to Hannah Lilly. She's with the Public Library here in Bristol. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And she's our young adult librarian, and it's great to have you here. This is the first time I've gotten to meet you, although I know you've been with the library for over a year now. So tell us a little bit about your role with the library.
I'm in charge of all of the programming and the collection for teens. So I do programs from about 10 years old up until 19 when they're graduating high school and moving off to college.
And in terms of summer reading, we're sort of going to focus a little bit on that today. Tell us about some of the teen programs going on for this summer.
Well, we do programs for teens all year round, but we do a whole lot more in the summer because teens are out of school and often looking for something to do. So we do programs, at least one teen program every day of the week during our summer reading program, which runs from the beginning of June until July 14th.
Okay, and tell us about what do you expect at these programs?
Well, we try to do a variety of programs. Of course, we do book clubs and programs that are related to books because that is our primary focus. But we want to encourage teens to come to the library no matter their interest and to really take advantage of all we offer. So we show movies, we have an anime and manga club, we do building competitions and engineering classes, and we do special events like parties and game nights, board games and video games, and we have a teen coloring program, so hopefully to get the whole gamut of teens who can touch on all their interests.
Now, in terms of the summer reading kind of list and the book club, do those books vary from summer to summer?
They do. We have two public book clubs, one for tweens, which is generally ages 10 to 14, although anyone who's interested in the books can come, and one for teens, which is generally high school level books. So the maturity level and content's a little for older teens, but again, if younger want to come and they're interested in the books, they can as well. And
I'm assuming you've read all of the books.
I have. I try to always read them before we start, so I know what to expect, and if there's any interesting subjects, I can look into it a little more so we can spend some time discussing it, or if they have any questions.
So what are some of the books on this year or this summer's list?
For the tweens, the younger group, we're going to read Cinder next by Marissa Meyer. It's a sort of a Cinderella retelling, but in this case, Cinderella is a cyborg. So she's part mechanical, but it's very familiar, the rest of the story, with the step family and the prince. But this takes place in a futuristic China where the prince is trying to avoid a war with the moon. So it has a whole lot of new sci-fi elements, but it's a very familiar story.
Oh, neat. And then what about for the teens?
Our next book for the teens is called A Darker Shade of Magic, and it is a fantasy novel again by V.E. Schwab. It's the first book in a trilogy, and it's about a man who travels between 4 different worlds, and each world has a different degree of magic and how they treat it. Our world is called the gray world, and there's no magic. But then he has a world where magic is revered and a world where magic is feared, and then one world that is supposedly have been destroyed by magic. But he finds a certain magical icon that he has to protect, and leads to all sorts of trouble between traveling through these worlds.
Oh, wow. So definitely keeps you busy and very interesting.
It is. I love being with the teens, and they always have so much insight into the books. And we actually read the books together, so they don't have to come prepared or have any homework. And they get to keep a copy of the book after we read it. But I'm always fascinated by what they get from the books and how it's so different from what I get from the books.
So now if anybody's watching and they're interested in this program, how do they find out and get in touch with you, Hannah?
Well, we have a website and a Facebook page for the Teen Space, or you can stop by the main branch of the Bristol Public Library. And we have a huge space just for teens. It's newly remodeled, and it's where we do all our teen programming, where our teen books are. You can always call the library and ask. Everything we offer is completely free, and you don't have to sign up ahead of time. So even if you find yourself in the library, you can pop in the Teen Space and see if something's going on.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing all of this. Did we touch on everything you wanted to talk about?
I think so. I think that's great.
Fantastic. Thank you, Hannah. We appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. Stay with us. We'll be right back.